Hey, what's going on? I just want to make this topic. Um, it's an effect on YouTube, the Kwame Effect. Yesterday, man, everybody was making streams about dude, man. Um, Let me check out here for a second. Platinum's talking about something else. He's talking about that Nick Cannon nonsense. I can't believe he he timed me out. I was trying to promote Kwame's channel. I wasn't trying to promote Kwame's channel. I'm like, dude, yeah, he be on some sucker shit sometimes. But anyways, his shit won't grow because he's involved in the nigga shit. Dude ain't even got 1,000. I checked his social blade, man. Dude, you'll never get 1,000 with that shit. You're platinum Springer, man. You just getting views. You ain't got no content. I mean, he's got good, decent content, but his content ain't legitimate. You take that away, he's nothing. You know, a lot of these dudes are gonna fail. It'll be him and everybody else, but no disrespect, but yeah, this is the Kwame Effect. The title says it's an effect in YouTube, but I call it the Kwame trifecta. And what that means is when people put his name in the titles, he gets views. He had like 24,000 in a box on the other chat. On the second one, when it was 40 something minutes, and they cut him off because he was saying too much. But he had 15,000 in the morning, yesterday morning, when I was over at Platinum's, and they was talking about it. See, we was talking about him all last week. What he did was stop the Kevin Samuels thing. That's all he did, basically. Because when you're talking about actual things and actual substances, you know, that's just what it is. You know, yeah, I still got to look at Ty City and Kimora Lee's, and you know, I ain't gonna be in nobody's live stream today because everybody's on some bullshit. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna check it. I don't leave my phone over here. But yeah, this is something I just want to post up. Yeah, I'm just gonna keep this stream up for a minute. I just want to talk to y'all. Yes, 8:37 a.m. Eastern time, and I'm just saying it's the effect, the trifecta. But sometimes you just got to look at it like this. This is a great thing. I mean, most people thought this was going to go on, but the Kwame thing is huge right now. I mean, he's going in on the same people, but he's not getting controlled by the contract. So he's got money. He done figured it out. He don't go on nobody's talk show. So yeah, YouTube is kind of lucrative for him. I think he's got 134,000 subscribers. Some people say he can get to 1 million if he keeps talking. It's a possibility. But he's got a long way to go. You know what I mean? Probably at the end of this month, he may get 700,000. That's my prediction with him. Probably the next month. But now he'll get 130 something. But if he gets 200 something people subscribe to him, and if they keep subscribing to him, yeah, he can get up to 1 million real quick. That'd be funny if he beat Kevin Samuels first. That's just, my observation. But people just looking at it for what it is. I don't really care at this point, but it has an effect. The whole space, I would say outside of space in different sectors of YouTube, actually the whole YouTube on notice. I mean, he is trending hard right now. Now, I just subscribed to him a couple of days ago. I mean, last week, I think last Friday. He's got a good channel. I mean, I'm going to support the nigga, man. Shouts out to him. Exposing these mainstream media sports idiots, man. Slandering the men, specifically the black men and black athletes in general. They'll go in hard on the white ones because it's obvious where they stand. Stephen A. Smith need that cooking, man. They can't respond, man. Like there's a few of them tried, but nah, stepped on their toes, man. He's just gonna keep flowing. But the good thing about it is, this is a lesson when you're trying to promote somebody that came through the sphere, and he thought he was gonna get 1 million. But I saw that weak ass interview with Tasha K and him. To me, that interview was weak. I just didn't, he could have went to Kendra or somebody, but in reality, that interview was weak. I don't think he likes the spotlight either. And he's just going to be somebody on TV, on internet TV. You're going to see, if you have an internet TV from YouTube or YouTube TV, you're going to watch him on TV. Basically, they'll give him a show, whatever. I think she said something that he'll get a show. Eventually, he will get a show. But he's trying to push for relationships, so to speak. That's what I get from him. I don't even subscribe to dudes like that. You know what I mean? I don't support his shit or anything. It's just him. He's just like a blip to a radar to me. I don't even care for dudes like that. Now, Kwame, on the other hand, he's on fire, man. Yeah, he can do his own thing on YouTube. He's just not gonna sign a contract. I bet he's not. It's too good right now. It's too good right now. But most people look at it like this. Kwame, it's in the message. This ain't about him. It's all athletes. I think all black athletes need to listen to him. If you was ever the number one pick or you want to start, see, they're going to legalize from high school to the NBA. I believe it's going to be next year. I think me and Wacky World of Old talked about it. And the football's going to have the one and done thing because they need money because of the pandemic. Fuck up their chances. You know what I mean? Because they see all the foreign leagues getting American players going overseas. So they're trying to stop that so you can go straight to pro in America, which is kind of fun. I mean, they've done this before in the 70s and 80s, I believe, with Daryl Dawkins and Moses Malone. But then they did it with Garnett later in the 90s. They brought it back because college was lucrative back in the 80s as well. But when the 90s came, no one really cared about it. But Garnett made a history and changed the game with the Timberwolves and things like that. But what I'm seeing right now, Kobe was a female, and after the next year, he was the 13th pick, I believe. Got traded to the Lakers. He was the only superstar that came out of those eras. And Garnett was as well. He was an all-star. He was traded to the Celtics, get a championship. And that's a great example. And then LeBron was the biggest. So he's got 4 rings as a number one pick. To me, he's a little overrated because people hyped him too much. Because his first years in Cleveland, they didn't structure him right. You know what I mean? But he survived. He went to Miami. And to me, that was kind of like a silly move that he went. But I understand why he went to Miami. Because Miami was a lucrative team to build. But I didn't think they was going to get 2 championships. I didn't care for him on the Miami championships. I cared for Dwayne Wade when he was on those championships. But mainly, if you can see now, those number one picks mean something, okay? That's the whole point. So if you have that type of content, you just look at it like this. Being number one pick is hard to be, or projective, because I didn't know who Kwame Brown was back then. I was like 13 when that draft came out. I was in 2001. Because number one pick could have been projected at the time. So I was into sports when I was younger. Kwame was not even on my radar back then. Now, the 2001 draft was an interesting draft. You had Tyson Chandler. You had a few other guys that was noticeable. A lot of them didn't even become superstars. There's only a handful. I forget one was a superstar out of it. His name doesn't escape me. Let's research it. Let's research it for a minute. NBA 2001 draft. Let's look at that up. Let's look at that up. Okay. You got Eddie Curry. Okay. I'm going to screen share this for a minute. I'm going to make a valid point here for a minute. Hold on. Because I don't think y'all understand. I was 13 at the time. I'm 33 right now because that was, I'm trying to figure out how many years ago that was. Let me see. Okay. 2001. Subtract. That was 20 years ago. Okay. 20 years ago, I was 13. 2011 would be 10 years ago. I'll make a point. I know people don't really care, and I don't give a fuck who's not in the chat or whatever, you know. You got a lot of haters this morning. Let's see who the haters are. Yeah. I'll make a point. Yeah, someone gave me a light. That's cool. Yeah. So I'm trying to make a point here. Out of these top 15, Stephen Hunter from DePaul, he's gone. Richard Jefferson won one ring with, I believe, LeBron. He wasn't a superstar. I think he was. I don't know if he was an all-star. I believe, but he was cold back in 2001. Then you got Vladimir Radmatovich. I remember him from Seattle. He didn't last long. Now they known as the OKC Thunder. Kedrick Brown. He's gone now. Joe Johnson, I don't know if he has a championship. He was a decent role player. He was drafted by Boston, and then I think he went to Phoenix. And, you know, I know his career. Then Rodney White, and then you got Desanja Diop from Cleveland. I remember him. He didn't last long. You don't hear that much from him now. Eddie Griffin, yes, from Seton Hall. You didn't hear much from him. Now, Shane Battier won championships in Miami. He was decent from Duke. He was a top pick. I don't think they were superstars. They ended up becoming role players. Now, Jason Richardson, I remember him from Golden State. He was dunking and doing everything. He was from the 2001 draft, Michigan State. Jason Richardson was cold in college. That was Jason Richardson. Jason Richardson was probably the most exciting player. I don't know if he was an all-star or not, but, you know, I forgot because I haven't gotten to my history logs in the NBA. Then you got Trenton Hansel. That's the 30th pick. That's like the second round. Then you got Gilbert Arenas. He was good. I think he was an all-star. He was good. He was drafted by Golden State and then eventually went to Washington. Will Solomon, Terrence Moore. See, a lot of these dudes, they kind of disappear. You got Tony Parker. He was an all-star. He was the only one that was an all-star type player. Tony Parker was in this draft. Pau Gasol was an all-star too. He was in the draft. He was drafted by Atlanta. And I think he went to Memphis in a trade. I think they switched them two out. Tyson Chandler was drafted by the Clippers, but he went to Chicago in his beginning career in a trade. I'm trying to figure out. Charlotte Hornets, he was traded for a Chicago trade. I do remember that. What's his name? Kurt Hansen. Wasn't Heinger, wasn't it? Michael Bradley. Zach Randolph was good. He was an all-star for the Portland Trailblazers. He stuck with that team for a long time. Brendan Haywood, I remember him. A lot of these dudes. Brandon Armstrong out of Houston, he was good. Raul Lopez. Gerald Wallace, I remember him. Sacramento, he was traded to the Charlotte, the Charlotte Hornets, but they call them the Bobcats at the time. Samuel Dallenberg. Samuel Dallenberg from Seton Hall, from Philly, yeah. Jamal Tinsley, I remember him. So the 2001 draft was kind of, he had some interesting interesting selections. But Kwame Brown was number one pick for Washington. He played 12 years. Tyson Chandler played 19 years. A lot of these players played less years. Like I said, they've been around. Only all-stars I say is Tony Parker, Pau Gasol, Zach Randolph, and a few others. I'm not going to name them names. Michael Wright was there. Mehmet Okur was with the Detroit. Yeah, he's a foreigner, I believe. I forget what country he's from. Jeff Tappinger. I know all these role players. Brian Scalabrine, he was drafted by the New Jersey Nets, known as the Brooklyn Nets now. He used to play for Boston. Ken Johnson, Alton Ford, Maurice Jeffers. They had 58 overall picks back then. They usually have 60, but it was a little different back then. The draft was kind of small. Wasn't that many players coming out. That's just what I want to show y'all. It's real sad that Kwame Brown was a top pick projected, and they thought he was going to be a superstar. So, yeah, man. He was traded to Vancouver at the time. He was drafted by the Hawks, known as the Memphis Grizzlies right now. That's Pau Gasol. Dominguez High School, Compton, California. That's where Tyson Chandler came. He's from Compton. Glenn Academy, Brunswick, Georgia. That's where Kwame Brown came from. He was a center. He was a top pick. This is when players was coming out of high school. He was popular, but he was a kid, man. He wasn't no star or anything. Here's Gerald Wallace with the Brooklyn Nets. You know what I mean? Tony Parker retiring. Gilbert Arenas. Detroit Pistons. This is Mehmet Okur. I remember him, the big man. See, these are the people that in 2001. Tyson Chandler up there with the Hornets, New Orleans, Pau Gasol. These are the players. They ain't got no Kwame Brown, which is kind of low down. But I'm going to click on his name. That's what we're talking about today. He's played for the Pistons. He's 6'11", 290, right? Almost 7 feet. He's 39 right now. He was born in 1982. He'll be 40 next year. Because I live in Georgia right now. They got his personal life on the wiki. Yeah, you can look the dude up, man. I mean, yeah, this is Kwame Brown. I try to tell y'all. This is the guy that's making all the diss of the mainstream media. I mean, mainstream sports media. So, yeah. Gerald Wallace was a former All-Star at least once. That's why. And the ones that player who has been selected at least one All-Star and All-NBA team, that was Tyson Chandler, Pau Gasol, Joe Johnson, Zach Randolph, Tony Parker, Gilbert Arenas. And at least once was Mehmet Okur and Gerald Wallace. They was an All-Star at least once. Who has never played an NBA regular season or playoff. There's a couple of them, Michael Wright, Kyle Hill, and, there's a few others, Jeffries, Jacotis, Brian Bracey. Who's been selected Rookie of the Year? None of them was the selected Rookie of the Year. In this totem pole, none of them was selected as Rookie of the Year. Wow. That's an interesting year, man. Man. I'm just showing y'all. That's the facts. What's going on, DS1? Mama's cooking. Yeah, man. Yeah. It's crazy, man. I'm looking at these stats, man. Like, that dude, As a star, he was a bust, but as a role player or regular player, whatever you want to call it, Kwame had decent numbers. Let's look at him again. I'm gonna look him up again because y'all need to know who he is. We already know the other players. Okay, see the guy's stats. First overall, 2001. I was 20 years ago. I was 13 at the time when he got drafted around that summer. Okay, career history. Let's look here. He played for the Washington Wizards in 2001 and 2005. That's when Jordan kind of harassed him. He played the Los Angeles Lakers when Kobe didn't really win a championship. This is when the Lakers was on their downturn because 2005 the Spurs won. '06 was the Miami Heat. I do remember that. '07 was the Spurs. I saw half of the finals, but I didn't know LeBron got swept. That was his first championship. That was a strange year. 2008. Who won the 2008 championship? Um, Celtics. Yeah, Celtics won 2008. My fault. Celtics. They won 2008 because that was the championship with Paul Pierce. Yeah, that was a hell of a year, and he played with the Lakers. I think he was on that team against the Celtics. I might be sure. Yeah, and then I don't think. No, I think that was midseason. My fault. It was, and then he said played Grizzlies in 2008. Okay, so they cut him loose in '08, and they probably with Memphis, formerly known as Vancouver in Canada, but the Grizzlies in '08, right? So he also from that year, I think they traded him off season to the Detroit Pistons. That's what you see the picture right here. So the time he played with the Pistons was somewhere around later '08. They kind of released him to the Pistons. He played a couple seasons with them. He played a couple seasons with the Bobcats, now known as the New Charlotte Hornets. See, the New Orleans Hornets is the original Charlotte Hornets, but Michael Jordan bought the name and bought the history, so I'm not going to get into that. The Bobcats, what you see now, are the Charlotte Hornets now. So let's end that. 2010 to 2011, he played with them a few years. Now, I mentioned Golden State in certain uh, streams. He did play with the Warriors for at least 2 years with us. Steph Curry. This is the year they should have kept Kwame Brown. Me personally, this is when Golden State should have had their stride right with him. He was a decent player. He was decent size, but they traded him over some bullshit, which is kind of crazy. Then he played 2 years with the Sixers. So he played with the Wizards, Lakers, Grizzlies, Pistons, Bobcats, known as Hornets. He played with the Warriors for 2 years with Steph Curry when he was on the rise with Clay and Draymond. And he played with the Sixers. Now, the Sixers, to me, will win the East. I'm still watching the playoffs and everything, so it's all great over here. So, yeah. But people going to pick the Nets. That's fine, but they come on early today, 1 p.m., 3 p.m. Yeah, I'm going to catch those. I'm going to catch those games. Boston lost last night against the Nets. I kind of halfway sleep on that. Yeah, I saw the game. I actually saw the game. I fell asleep on the Blazers and the Nuggets game. Trailblazers beat them. Not surprised. I saw Dallas beat the Clippers. Not surprised. Milwaukee beat the Heat. Not surprised. They may go 6 or 7 on all of those games, but we'll see. But yeah, Kwame Brown, man, he had a decent career. He had a average or above average career. Yeah, he had above average career. Now, career highlights: All-American 2001, McDonald's All-American, Mr. Georgia Basketball 2001. Those are his career highlights. Here's his career stats: 6.6 premier game, 5.5. You know, that's decent, but at least he made a lot of money as a number one pick. So he was used off the bench as a role player, but he did contribute on the defensive end. But I do know that. He was traded along with Jarvis Crittenden and Aaron McKee at the time. Okay, draft rights for Marc Gasol and the Lakers 2008 and 2010 first round draft picks for Powell, second pick. Okay, that's what that was. So okay, that's why. Reported that Pistons signed Brown to a 2-year deal, $8 million with the second-year player option, which is facts. And Brown signed 1-year deal with the Bobcats. That's how that happened. Okay. I just scroll down there. And then, okay, so in December 2011, Brown signed a 1-year, $7 million contract with the Warriors On March 3rd, 2012, Brown, along with Monte Ellis and Ekpe Udolph, was traded to the Milwaukee Bucks in exchange for Andrew Bogut and Steven Jackson. Brown never played for the Bucks during the season. No, he never did. He never played with them. It was a DNP on that team. But Steven Jackson, Andrew Bogut was the trade. I do remember that trade for Andrew Bogut. I remember hearing about it. So he was traded then. So Kwame Brown was in exchange. Okay, so 2012, Brown signed a 2-year contract, nearly $6 million with the Philadelphia 76ers. So he got money from Grizzlies, all the way from Pistons, Warriors, Bucks, and the Sixers. After sustaining a right hamstring in September 2013, Brown was waived by the Sixers on November 20th before appearing in a game for them in 2013-14 season. And here's his post-career. In 2017, Brown was the 5th overall pick in the inaugural draft of the Big Three Basketball League. I remember that in 2017. I was in the workplace at the time. Brown played for the three-headed monsters, who made it to the finals and ended up losing to the Trilogy 51 and 46. Yeah, he did good. It was a 3-on-3 league by Ice Cube. That was a good league. I don't know if he promotes it now, Ice Cube. I don't even pay attention to the Big Three no more because Ice Cube was on some political stuff. I don't know if it's on TV. I haven't I haven't seen. I used to watch it for 3 seasons when I was in the workplace. It was something. See, here's what the media will point out. His arrest charge, 2007. This is how they get you right here in the wikis. They do like this. Oh, I'm sorry. Let me look at his regular season points per game. Okay. In Washington, the first year was 4.5, 7.4. I was looking at his career average was 6.6. Okay. 10.9 points per game in Washington. He did good. 7.4, 8.4. But this is how many times he played with each team. 1.9 per game. Yeah, he was deteriorating. He had bust numbers, but he was like an average player. He was an average and a below average player, but sometimes he had above average moments up in here. A normal role player. He has role playing numbers. Now, playoffs, he had 12.9, 8.6 with the Lakers. He did good with the Lakers. Playoff record, he had 8.7. That's even better than the regular season. So, yeah, he can contribute, but he's out of career. I don't think he wants to play again. That's Kwame Brown, man. That's the guy coming with the smoke. 2001 draft, man. He had a decent career. For $60 million like that, all day, baby. But yeah. But you know. That's just for my 2 cents in. I think the good thing about it is when I show those numbers, I just want people to understand that Kwame wasn't playing, man. Like he really was about something at the time. So I don't think he was a terrible player. It's just it was so few improvements they would have worked with him on. But at the time, at that time you had to be about your A game. You couldn't just say you was the best because it was too much competition. It was too many good players each year. That's right. What's going on, Rashawn? Yeah, man. Like this dude is on fire. And basically what I'm seeing is the effect that's in this space, and he can tell you experience what they go through as a regular player or a role player, they would say. He's the type of dude that will give you advice like what to do, what not to do. And then he had a stream I seen yesterday, afternoon stream. He said about the food when he was 18. he said he went into a restaurant. The white folks was trying to tailor made him, right? They was trying to tailor made him so bad, boy, it wasn't even funny. He didn't want no salad or nothing. He went across the street to get him some McDonald's, right? At that age, he was doing it. Yeah. And he was so tailor made. Like they try to make him, like a C word, like a coon, right? And the way he broke it down is like they couldn't tell him what to do. He said, "This guy didn't tell. We can't tell him what to do." And I forget how he explained it. He said when he got up, walked his ass out of the restaurant, went across the street and got him something. He got him what he wanted to eat, right? But the good thing about it is he did it on his own terms back then. See, back then you couldn't able to do that, but him being from out of high school, they weren't able to control him. So yeah, man, it's just like, I mean, this dude is on fire. I mean, what he's doing in this YouTube community, I don't care if it's a black sector or manosphere or whatever it is, he's standing up for brothers. Yes, he's criticizing the women too, that are the obvious ones that hate the men. That's basically that's super ratchet, but you got dudes the same way. He goes in on both. Technically, he goes in on both because I've seen both of his videos and his streams, and the way he breaks it down, like it's common. But the thing is, the messaging, what they do to black boys, and he said about the rappers and the players, they're basically just in there, man. Like he just ain't having it. Like the media be tarnishing these dudes, man. And that's the good thing about it. I think basically you just want to see what's going on. So I just want to make this little stream. Like, man, my responses from the weekend and last week, man, this dude is on the tear. He's on the tear to break in probably 400,000. I mean, probably the next couple of months, because I don't think it's going to go all right. And a lot of people try to think it's going to die down, but we'll see if is able to do this and pull it off longer. But yeah, when he played against Boston, oh yeah, he did. I think he was in that playoffs. I'm not sure what year he played, but that was probably regular season. But in the playoffs, yeah, he did pretty good. I think I got the numbers. Yeah, he wasn't having it, man. But that draft here was when he was drafted the same year where Richard Jefferson was playing. Richard Jefferson was a role player. Kwame was too. All of them were. Brandon Armstrong. You got Joseph Forte, Brendan Haywood, Omar Cook, Jeff Tappinger. What college? Yeah, Cleveland Cavaliers, USC. Sean Lampe. I remember Sean Lampe, Lauren Woods, Ken Johnson, all these dudes. He played with guys like that from the second round to the first round. He played with guys with Vladimir Radmanovic. He's from Yugoslavia, which is currently known as Serbia right now. But the country at the time, former Yugoslavia, because I think it was Croatia, Slovenia, all them. It was a nation. It was Yugoslavic people, or Yugoslavia. That was in Central Europe. But it's not Yugoslavia no more, but it's actually known as Serbia now. Yeah, I remember him. He's played for the Suns, known as the Thunder. By the way, he's a big man. He was a 4-man. So, yeah, Eddie Griffin. So, Richard Jefferson was drafted by the Houston Rockets. I do kind of remember that. He was traded for the New Jersey Nets to Houston. Eddie Griffin played for the Nets. Not for the Nets. I mean, he was drafted by the Nets, but he was traded to Houston. I do remember that trade in the draft, and that was an interesting trade. His career turned out decent. A lot of these players. And Kwame Brown was like the number one pick. People was riding him hard that year, but the numbers didn't look good. But he had a decent career. I'm not going to pride him like that, Late great David Stern. Yeah, he passed away that year along with Kobe. That was a huge suffering for a loss in the NBA. So the NBA is fine. We're in a better position where we are. I doubt it will die down. Yeah, it's gonna keep going. Um, Basically, what I'm saying is he's just there to be on fire right now. But just gonna put this in the chat, and I done said enough. I ain't gonna try to go hours in because I don't know how long I'm gonna be here. Because the Kwame Effect is here, yo. It's a trifecta. Yeah, we're gonna pin it. And the trifecta is just it's a full effect, man. Yeah. The Kwame trifecta, man, like what I call it is it's on fire, man. I mean, looking at the numbers, I'll pull you up.
Man, yo, I just started watching his I started watching like his pre-recorded, well actually yeah, his videos. I was
Mhm.
like, oh damn son.
Yeah, I was in his live streams yesterday. They were great, and I gave him 2 likes, and I was laughing at the first one in the morning. I was in Platinum's chat, and he kind of timed me out. He said, "Please don't promote Chuck," because he was doing the same thing. But that's cool. But he had like 15,000 in the box early that morning. I saw it going up, and I was like,
Yeah.
"Whoa, he wasn't playing, man." But then the other live stream, it went up to 24,000, and they cut him off because he was saying too much. I'm like, man, this dude's on fire, man.
I
Yeah,
mean shit, bro. Like, I mean, it only takes a little when you start poking the hornet's nest, and then you know what I mean? Like, once you poke that hornet's nest, man, like, you done fucked up.
yeah,
And it's like, I don't understand, man. It's like, nobody, like, dude wasn't even bothering everybody. You know what I mean? He was just living his best life, you know what I mean? Doing something for the youth and everything. And then here comes these Negroids in their podcast. And number one, it's just I'm like I hate to say this, man, but yeah, man, they fucked up. Yo, you $9 in.
yeah,
Yeah, like they like yeah, man. Like I do agree. I do agree, man. Like they didn't have to like literally like try to bring this dude down, man. And it's like, look at these niggas, man. You
yeah,
got one dude that drove 10 hours fixing his head about to fight Derek Fisher. And then you got this other Negro. Don't know if he wants to be an activist or active gang member.
hmm
And it's just like, let me tell you, son, like, I've seen niggas like this around my way. Like when I was young, bro. Like niggas trying to claim something that they're not. Like, bro, sit the fuck down and chill out. Like
yeah,
it's like there is no glory of glorifying the gang life, man. Like I don't give a fuck what nobody says. Like I even have friends, you know what I mean, that were in gangs, but they inactive, and they'll say the same thing. Like you stupid. Like why you make 10 million fucking dollars, and you gonna go ass backwards trying to be all like, nah, man, fuck out of here, bro. Like these street niggas would look at Stephen like, bro, are you serious? Like, what are you doing?
hmm yeah. I mean, you had everybody have his back. Even my father, was talking about it like yesterday on the phone. Like, yeah, man, it's crazy, man. Like, he's getting numbers like YouTube, and they say he had like 130 something yesterday subscribers, right? I
Mm.
predict he's gonna get more than that. In the 400,000, probably the end of this month or next month. But he's still growing. But see, people know him, man. And what you see in this picture right here on the screen share, like that's the last
Mhm.
time he played with Detroit was 2008 and 10. And then I got it right here. He was with
Mhm.
Detroit and signed a 2-year deal, 8 million. So all those millions that he saved got him 60 million. He's gonna get more money off of this. Now he has his tractor business. He got his farm and all that. You know, he's making money off the land, even though he lives in Georgia and Brunswick, Georgia.
Mhm.
I already know where he stays at and everything, but I know he lives here. Him and Kevin Saints, they both live in Georgia because Kevin's from Oklahoma because of the
Mhm.
transplant in Atlanta. You know, he's getting numbers already. He'll get 1 million, then you get 5 million next month because of the relationship thing, because it's the hot topics of mainstream media. That's all they talk about 95% of the time.
Mhm.
It's against the dudes. But this dude is talking about real stuff. It's not popular because it resonate with us, like what's common,
Yeah.
you know, and that's why you see him going after mainstream sports media, and the sports media is the worst because
And you know what?
they trash you, man.
Yeah, like, and you know what? Like, as he should, because
Yeah,
how many? It's like how many niggas in the league that are actually speaking out? You know what I mean? There's only few out of every sports, you know what I mean, that talks about, athletes getting underhanded.
hmm
You know what I mean? Like
it's not that
boxing,
many. Yeah,
you know what I mean? Boxing, for example. Like you've seen a lot of niggas getting underhanded, but there's only maybe only that 1% of boxers who know the business side. You know what I mean? But yeah, man, it's about time, bro. Cause like over the years, like yeah, man, like NBA, I don't know, NBA is pretty trash now.
yeah. Only but the playoffs. That's what people watch. I saw a
Yeah.
few games yesterday. I saw the Bucks destroy the Heat, just like I predicted. I mean, Jimmy Butler, they ain't going back. Um, Dallas did good. That boy from Croatia, what's his name? Doncic, I predict he's more like LeBron like because he's from Europe. But now next year he's a kicker. Me and Wacky talked about this. They're bringing high
Mhm.
school players coming to the league trying to stop that because they saw what LaMelo did. They said, "Nah, we're gonna have to go back to the old way." Trying to stop those foreigners from coming in, straight out of high school, and if they come to our schools, American schools, they can come straight out of high school. So that's the thing. I guess America wants to control that market. And here's the thing about the
Yeah.
NFL: college football is trash. You know why? It's going to be one and done, kind of like the NBA. But
Mhm.
eventually, the next step is going to be like the NBA. Let the high school players come to the NFL, not try to get them hurt, right? Train them
Right. Right.
like a LeBron, right? That's what they want. It's that money, man. They planned this stuff for years, and I don't think people understand. The sports is like a racket right now because the money and the COVID thing got to them. They said, "Well, we need to make this money." Get some stars
Yeah.
up here, so the fans come back. So they open up everything and they're being careful with it. That's the
Mhm.
evolution. Yeah. And then when I look at the Nets last night, I saw that game. Yeah, they killed Boston like they supposed to.
Oh, son, I saw the score, bro. I was like,
Yeah, I
oh
watched the whole game. Yeah.
shit,
Yeah.
man. Who else did I
I
see?
fell asleep on the Trailblazers and the Nuggets.
Oh,
Trailblazers that game.
Trailblazers
Yeah.
spanked.
Yeah,
Yeah, Trailblazers
yeah.
spanked
I
the
fell asleep
Nuggets.
on that one halfway. But
Yeah,
today
Trailblazers.
they playing who'd you got? The Wizards, the Sixers at one, and Lakers and the Suns. I'm gonna catch those games while I get off here, but later. Those are later. So
Yeah, I'm trying to see. I'm trying to watch some games. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Yeah.
I'm keeping up with the playoffs, but tonight you got the Hawks and the Knicks. I mean, that's gonna be
Ooh,
boring.
I gotta see. I gotta see what time the Knicks play, man.
It's at 7 p.m., man.
Oh,
Uh
is that so
yeah,
cool?
yeah. And the 9:30 game is the Jazz and the Grizzlies. I'm gonna catch those. Yeah, it's the first round, man. Like, I don't see what the Wizards on. Oh, it's on TNT. Okay, I got that TNT. Here we go. And Lakers, they on ABC. Okay, cool. They be on ABC. Great, great, great. And who's gonna be on TNT? I want to see who's gonna be on TNT. I watch. Okay, Hawks and the Knicks. Oh yeah, I'm definitely gonna watch.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
Oh yeah. Yeah,
yeah.
I'm definitely
They got a
watching.
three header. Yeah, and they hosting the Jazz and the Grizzlies. Oh yeah, yeah. TNT. So ABC, Lakers and Suns. You know how that is. ESPN.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think the Lakers. I mean, it's a 50-50 with the Lakers.
Hmm.
You know what I mean?
But the Suns is pretty good.
Yeah, but yeah, I was gonna say like I don't know, like the Suns may give the Lakers a hard time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Since LeBron is out,
Yeah. Yeah.
like yeah, they're definitely gonna give they're definitely gonna give the Lakers a hard time, man.
Yeah, I want to see what the Lakers talking about. Is he out? Let's look at the news. Okay. LeBron James violent pro got by attending an event. NBA says on ESPN. The Suns James with close ties. LeBron braces for the Lakers series. Let's see. When did he violate? 1 day ago. They ain't gonna show you that. Hold on. Okay, that's a long article. By
Mm.
attending was found to be in the breach of the NBA's health safety protocols this week. The league spokesman Friday. James won't be suspended. Sources to told him. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So wait, they were gonna suspend him for what?
They tried to suspend him, but they ain't gonna suspend him. Yeah, he's high value for the player. Okay. Dennis Schroeder's teammate. Yeah. Yeah, I think he's still out. I don't
Mm,
I don't think he is playing. We'll see. I'll see what's going on with him. And I don't keep up with the around the league shit because I think I used to
yeah.
when I was working, even when I was younger playing basketball. I used to keep up with that shit too. It's like a religion to me. Sports is in my
Mhm.
family.
Mm,
And that's how it was, man. It's off and on.
yeah, man.
But normally I watch the tournaments or the playoffs, see who's hot and who's not. It's all about that chip, man. That's what everybody come to see, really. If you
Yeah,
if you
pretty
really
much.
want to get it, when you really get down to it, the NBA is basically like that. So yeah, I'm calling it right now. I'm calling Sixers coming out of the East because Brooklyn they're nice because they're playing weak Boston, but that next round with the Bucks, that's gonna be interesting because they got size. They know how to check those guys. They got three defenders. They did good against Miami. See, Miami got Jimmy Butler. I just don't trust their system. You know, you
Mm,
can't stop
yeah,
Giannis a lot. Because Bucks has been proven every year in the playoffs they're gonna get better. They're the dark horse. But
yeah,
Atlanta's
yeah.
new. Yeah, Atlanta's new and New York's new. But see, the Knicks can have a shot, but they're too experienced, both inexperienced teams. See, the Sixers can beat them in the next round. They get already in the conference. So, the East is like a cakewalk. I hate using that term, what Chuck was saying. He hate using that term
Mhm.
himself. Cakewalk. Most people, sportsmen will use that. I said, no, nah, it's not a cakewalk. I mean, it can be competition, but if it is a cakewalk, the team's weak, you already got them. And the score is going
Yeah,
to be
'cause
good.
it's not gonna be a walk in the park. I know that for sure.
Yeah. Now the Wizards, that's an easy game for them because Westbrook can't carry a team. I already seen what he done in the playoffs. So in the East, I just don't trust the Wizards. Should have been the Pacers. If
Hmm.
they would have gave them a hard time. But the Wizards, that's gonna be a sweep. I mean, Westbrook, you my man, but they got Dwight Howard, they got everybody, they got Embiid, they got size. They got two players from the Lakers last year won the championship. So Doc's looking for a ring. So, they got a lot on the
Mm,
line. See, it could be the Sixers or the Nets in the conference finals, Brooklyn and Philly, East Coast, you know. That
yeah,
would be something, you know what I mean? See, I ain't worried about the Knicks. The Knicks got a long way to go. They got a long way to go. They'll be in the playoffs every year.
yeah.
We got RJ Barrett. They're gonna be all right. I picked the Knicks beat the Hawks
Now,
anyway.
the
I
thing
like the
is,
Hawks to win. Yeah.
now my question is, You know what I mean? Or they go to you, or they go to like burn RJ Barrett out in every game. Cause like if they're gonna rely on him, if they're gonna rely on him instead of like that's too much, man. Like they should have
Yeah.
been like at least a good solid squad that everybody does their part, and then
Mm.
you have one player that's like a round player. You know what I mean? Uh, I don't know, man. You might be right. You might be right. Knicks have a long way to go,
Yeah.
but they made it to the playoffs. So you know what I mean? I gotta wait and find out until 7.
Yeah.
Oh man, I couldn't bear I couldn't bear the tea talk,
Yeah.
bro.
Yeah. I was in Platinum Stream earlier, like they was on some bullshit. Old buddy trying to say Nick Cannon was kicked off by a certain group, which is not true. It's a collective of Freemasons kicked him off. He went in on them. And oh boy, man, see, this is the weird shit that Platinum be having on. He has those weirdos on. That's why his channel will never grow. It's just a drama channel. I mean,
Yeah,
those
bro.
channels, those channels will be played out. Like he don't understand. Like if you're gonna compete with Cooter and them, you got to clean some things up. And it's
Yeah, man. Yeah, cause like I don't know, bro. Cause like there was a lot of things I was just like, cause like I really wanted to wild out. Well, not wild out, but actually just like say like, my nigga, you bugging. Like,
yeah,
what the fuck you talking about? Like, if
yeah,
I'm talking to a chick, does that literally mean I'm about to trick? No,
yeah,
no. Like, you know what I mean? Like, not everything has to involve tricking, man. Like, but it seems like we already have sympath trick sympathizers that are okay with it. And it's like, you know what, each their own, do you? But it's like with me, nah, I'm good. Cause it's like I've already heard stories, I've already read stories, and yeah, I'm good.
yeah,
Like I'm all the way fucking good, bro. Like I
yeah.
don't need that. It's
But,
like,
uh-huh.
and it's like, what would it do? What purpose would it serve? Any nigga, any nigga that tricks, like he gonna learn that shit the hard way once he gets robbed butt ass naked and shit, like
Yeah,
hotel room, like
yeah,
that's why it's like I don't be getting that, like I don't be getting that. So you mean to tell me? I'm like, look, bro, like not for nothing, but you a John, like like how you in this space?
yeah,
It's like I don't know, man, but I feel like Platinum uses platform just to like single out who really be tricking, man.
yeah. That's usually what it is. I laugh at that. That's why I don't be on his panels like that. Now, yesterday he had Charles. They was talking about some police stuff and politics. Like,
Yeah,
Charles,
I watched
yeah,
that right
yeah,
before like
yeah. I watched the whole thing. Charles was hounding this police woman. She sounded so ignorant, even though she lives in
yeah,
part of
like
New York.
I
But
was
she was so biased. But you know what? What did Charles say? That's a different animal, and it is a different animal. I mean, New York to me, most New Yorkers say it's a good, and some people say it's overrated. I heard a lot of good and bad about it. But if I ever visit, man, I want to see for myself what is so great about
yeah, like
the
that's
dominance of New York. You know, I want to
yeah,
know all those northeastern states that people talk about, but then I want
yeah,
to know the history of it. Why is it like that? You know, why do people think the way they
yeah,
do? You know, because I'm
yeah.
curious. You know,
And you should. You should go to New York and see
see
for
for
yourself,
myself,
man.
like, and knowing the history why people struggle the way they do. You know, see the classes, and I'm like, okay, and I have a different
Yeah.
perspective on it because,
Oh man, don't get it twisted.
yeah,
Classism is real
oh
up
yeah,
here, man.
yeah,
Like classism is really real up here. And then of course, you got reverse classism.
oh that's true. Oh yeah, shit,
You
yeah,
know what I mean?
yeah. I think Ramil did a stream on, I think about the Bill Gates, but you got these dudes that still talk about legalizing prostitution, and then people in the chat push back because the welfare says you got to get rid of the welfare. You do, because then you got this one dude trying to say it's okay to, they all need to come together. But see, I have an issue with him is he likes to circle jerk the conversation, and this is why you have,
Yeah, I don't like
this is
circle
why,
jerkers,
yeah,
man.
yeah. This is why you have Jonathan's, like my man DS1 was saying, they exist. They love that shit. And then you wonder why the split with Kuda. The same people that was cool with him is
Mm-hmm.
teaching that shit, and it's gonna backfire on them. And and we laugh at him deep down. The Ramil kind of pushed back a little bit on it because he didn't want to say nothing. But don't be surprised we start flipping on y'all. This is like I predicted, man. Like that summer, it's gonna be a different Ramil. Watch. I already know, because whoever gets the highest numbers, he gonna be next. I mean, he's next up to me out of
Yeah.
this shit.
The
Because the
only
way
thing is,
his topics is so well rounded, but he tricks you if you're doing both the P thing or the trick thing, because he's trying to see, are you really about those two lives? It's two sides you got to pick.
mm-hmm.
A lot of people can't broadcast. See, Ramil's a reform. What he say? He said, "I'm a reform Pookie, man. I ain't got time for this shit." That's why he goes in hard on the actual Pookies and actual Ray Rays, because he done
Mm-hmm.
been in the industry and he's a former adult.
Yeah, no, I've heard you guys were talking about that. You know what I mean? He was a reform adult film star.
And a Pookie at that. But he lets you know I've been in that lifestyle, and he says it every time on his channel, trying to let him know he don't care for y'all niggas like that, and that's a good thing. For him to say that. That's why he got them numbers and those subscriptions, those views, because they fuck with him. He's 700 chats deep if it's a great topic out the box, 400 and 300 out the box off the gate.
Mm,
So, yeah, Platinum can't be him. No, this dude got money. He's a little established. He's a year younger than I am, but he's in good shape, man. That's why I'm worried about him, because they will never go against him because they play up to him. They try to be like him, but they can't. And they try to live their lives through Marco El Grande. And I think boy was trying to mention it. Don't mention his name because you ain't him. At least Marco's smart about it. And then I'll never forget, I was on a live stream with him and Aegon. He said, and he tried to cut in the conversation. He said, let's talk about something else, because you dudes don't even understand when you use other races. Just experience it first. The way he said it, and I saluted him for that, because
you know
I
what's
look at that. I
crazy?
was looking at that stream, man. Man, he's a good dude. Yeah, but go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna say, that one thing. You know, one thing that I learned from watching one of Dr. Jane Elliott's videos,
Hmm.
like, and this is the mind trip that she said, man. Like, she was like, there is no such thing as six races. There's only one race, the human race. Now now from every country there are different ethnicities from minor and major countries. Uh, and that was the tough part, was learning how to like reform my vocabulary, because like we've been told this ideology that there are six races back in high school. You know what I mean? And I'd be like, damn, son, like, she does have a point. Like it made me think. I'm like, man, what other six races is there besides us? Like, I don't recall us living in the time of Lord of the Rings and shit. But you know what? You know what I mean? Like, this is something that I gotta, you know, have to remind myself, like, whoa, wait a minute. I need to stop saying that race word, because like we all the same race. You know what I mean? It's just that we come from different. different cultural backgrounds and shit. It's weird.
Yeah.
It's weird. It's weird to me that people still want to have these intellectual conversations, but still, still like mentally institutionalized that that there are six races, which I kind of find far fetched. But that's another topic.
That's a whole other story. Yeah, it ain't no six races. Usually, some people say three actual. That's even man made. But if you want to say nations or ethnicities, they really one and the same because you have to have a bone structure history. This is what Fasting talked about with just DeAndre. He broke it down to him. They had like a little disagreement, but they came to the conclusion he was trying to understand his culture. And see, this is why we gotta love Fasting because Fasting, see, foreigners they tell you the truth what they think about you. And if I didn't go to school with them since fifth grade on up to high school, I don't know what I would have been, man. Because learning about other people
Mm-hmm.
from what they tell you, it's a greater perspective how the world works and how they think about you. And then you look at yourself, how you gonna take the message. Sometimes it's also the listen, because then you never know. See, the media won't tell you the whole truth about other people. So what they think about you and think.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
that's why I was
Right.
gonna.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, and also like
Hmm.
when they talk like yesterday on Platinum's panel, I wanted to jump in and be like, okay, but let's look at it from this angle, right?
Hmm.
Why is it that they always having the spotlight on us?
Hmm.
Like none of these other ethnicities are perfect, like Christ-like perfect. Like
Hmm.
they have their own problems in their own communities. Yeah, just yeah, like they could put on the spotlight, like yeah, you know what I mean? Like yeah, we stick together, but it's like, come on, man, come on, they dealing with the same, they're dealing with the same problem, the same level of problems we are. The
Hmm.
difference is, the difference is they're hiding that part.
Hmm.
Now every once in a while, like they'll throw every once in a while, like something might go through the cracks and you might just see like, oh, okay, so this community ain't what the media like to say they are. And yeah, man,
Yeah.
I it's like I don't really believe the hype because like you got, it's like it's not rocket science to put two to two together that they always have reports about black people,
Yeah.
but they don't want to show the other side, like yes, we also have fucking problems too. Like, man, listen,
Yeah.
that's one thing that I learned a long time ago, man. Like, don't believe what you see, man, because they could tell you one thing and then what I mean, the effect could tell you another.
Hmm. Yeah. But the one thing you learn about dudes like Fasting, you learn about the culture of the people. They know who's who. If you want to get into those topics, you
Mm-hmm.
listen to what they say and how they people treat. I don't get offended because I understand it's a long time ago. But what you learn is that's how they think. Period. And then you take heed when you travel. That's what they think. I said, I get it now. And then you understand the language. It's the trick.
Yeah,
It's ancient shit they used to do. Something happened to them is fucked up. But see, they don't know how to stop the top from taking their stuff. Just like they've been conquested. So the whole planet's been conquested by one group, one secret society, one culture. And that's what you see in sports. They don't tell you these things that, yeah, people have different cultures, but you can't go by some vague message from mainstream media because mainstream media is propaganda. They lie
yeah,
about other
yeah.
groups of people all day long until you
That's
really talk to them. I'm talking about actually talking to them. And if you're
mm-hmm.
friends with them and keep your distance, you don't have to be deep friends with them, but understand where they come from. So then they understand your culture. And I said, yeah, America's a little violent. We do our little bullshit. Don't believe in the fairy tales that it's a decent country. I try to tell them the same way. But that's why I tell Fasten, a lot of stuff you hear about America is not true, man. Like they do have problems like everybody else, but we have it easy because we have media and tech and all these other things. And then the other races, like what happens in their countries, it's a lot foul, man. And it's sad. They are struggling as well. It ain't like what the media is telling you. You know,
Mm.
and it's deep. That's why fasting is so important in this space because he tells on himself when all the coaches got to speak of what happened and not just slavery, but how they cultures ran. You know.
Yeah, I do. I do remember. I did have a little vitriol towards towards the motherland. Now this is like right after this is like right before I would say right after I did a little digging and I came across this. Well, I wouldn't say I haven't read the book, but I listened to the audio book, Daughters of the Trade, and and all. So like, eh, it was definitely it definitely broadened my horizons in the sense to know like how did we get here? Why are we here? Like there must have been some deals that have been made, you know what I mean, for us to be here. Cause yeah, man, like I did had a vitriol when they said, oh, they are not they are we are not our when they said like, oh, they're not our brothers. I'm like, oh, I wouldn't want to be y'all brothers either. I
Yeah.
mean, shit, like your ancestors had a whole had a whole hand involved in what happened.
Yeah. I used to have that vitriol in when I was younger, a small vitriol, but then I grew out of that and like, nah, I learned a lot about them from high school and I said, oh, we're a little different. It makes sense now. And then
Mm,
on YouTube, it really further explained. I said, I figured all them years they were right. And then it's just you gotta grow to it too with the knowledge and you're like, oh, everybody's a little different. And then when I was in the workplace, I learned a lot about different cultures because
yeah.
everybody not on the same playing field. But but us, how where we come from makes a lot of sense. And then you learn from others and you be like, man, you're in there, you know? And the good thing
Mm,
about it is like when you look at sports, it brings some unity, but that's just a distraction of the real thing outside, what we have to deal with class. Race is just a construct of, dividing others, but the class part is definitely makes sense. What I saw from that Capitol building,
mm-hmm.
that's just a tall tale sign that's going to still continue because the right wasn't having it. They were mad as hell, and that's the sign, man. People gonna rise up and they're gonna get tired of this shit and say, "Hey, we're gonna pick up arms and do our thing, man." You know?
Yeah, man. Like, come and, and, and I hate to say this, man, but it's like, why even give these motherfuckers their their powers when you know what I mean? Like, as the people, you know what I mean? We pick and decide like who would be a great fit in office as well as these courts, you know. But see, most people, but see, most of the times people just want to vote for the next president instead of like worrying about like their towns like judicial like courts.
Hmm.
Who's going to be in the courts for next year, you know what I mean? Like the president only signs these bills. He's not really in charge. It's really the legislative, judicial. Am I missing anything else?
I will say he signs everything, but he don't really do much outside the
Yeah.
economics. The Congress controls the economics. The president just signs the bills, like and he vetoes stuff, and then he deals overseas because he kind of runs the country. It's like another boss. He's kind
Mm-hmm.
of like a commander of the ship. So yeah, it makes perfect sense. And that's just basically what presidents do. They don't really have that much power. If you look overseas, geopolitically, they always control the military, and they've always going to do that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think people need to wake up. Like,
What's going on, Bunker? Yeah.
it's good. I think people need to wake up. Like, you know what I mean? Like, if they want something changed, like they have to change Congress. Like, most of these motherfuckers are almost, pretty much, almost, pretty much, pretty much drawing their last breath. You know, like I don't think if you're that old and you've been in Congress for that long, you need to retire.
Mm,
Like, you need to retire.
yeah. Yeah. And it's just like what Kwame say, these dudes be hounding young players, and they think less of themselves, which is kind of funny though. Like
Mm-hmm.
it, it just shows you what he's doing in these streams, man. And
Mm-hmm.
that's showing you, like, look, he's done being silent, so he could be an activist, man, for certain players and certain men. He's got his
Mm-hmm.
own business, everything. When he told that story about the restaurant, man, he had to walk out and said, look, I won't get me something to eat and of my choosing. And white folks, and he was trying to mock them. He said, man, we can't tell this boy what to do, because he had a mind of his own,
Yeah.
and that's a good thing. And it's hard to do that in those elite areas and jobs. I know for myself, when I was a barista for 2 years, I understand what the dealership wanted out of me, and helping others, serving others. And that was hell. People watching over your shoulder, work for an organization through a corporation, and they didn't
Mm.
play, man. You had to dress a certain way, and I already know what uniform was like.
Mm. Yeah.
Man, it's tough. And then I understand where Kwame's coming from. He's on fire, man. Like, and then I think he
Yeah.
talks about the.
Think, yeah. I don't think he's gonna back down. Because look, like as much character defend as much as they throw salt at his character, man. Like, yeah, it's like, well, don't be surprised. I mean, now y'all want to now. It's like now all these goofy ass motherfuckers want to respond and get themselves out of that light that they've been put in. But it's like, bro, that's why I always say keep your karma clean, cause like what comes around will come right back around in full circle, man. To me,
Mhm.
it's like, it's like why do niggas always do this? But then at the same time, it's like I know why they're doing it, because these niggas don't know any fucking better. They
Hey,
just don't.
oh, okay, Bunker, I'll check it out. Yeah.
It's like they just. It's like, you know what I mean. They just follow. They just follow what they white zaddies say. And don't get me started on all the smoke podcasts either.
Oh, they trash. I don't even watch them.
Yeah, like when I saw the title of that podcast, the name title of that podcast, I'm like, nah, I'm good. Like, cause it probably has a lot to do with talking down to like black athletes and all that shit, and it's like, nah, I'm good, man. I'm good. And it's like, y'all want to call Kwame a bust? Like, what's your record like when y'all were in the league?
Hmm.
It's like, look at y'all now. Like, you can't shame that man for what he. You can't shame that man.
Who would have thought of Kwame was that woke and on point? Well, he had that mindset. He just sat back and watched, and got tired of it. And just like this article I'm gonna read, I ain't gonna play the video. Y'all can go watch it. It's on YouTube. Kwame Brown has found newfound stardom from his recent exploits on social media almost a decade after his NBA career ended. The 39-year-old has long been butt of jokes from both players and fans, but has now returned to the scene with the Kwame Brown YouTube channel and has some polarizing opinions to dish out to the masses. Here's a look at what happened to Kwame Brown and the Kwame Brown controversy and his comments on Breonna Taylor. Now, Breonna Taylor, ex NBA star, has Starlink claim of Breonna Taylor. Yeah, y'all can watch that on YouTube. I'm not gonna play it here. So yeah, and talking about the Wizards and all that stuff. Yeah, he's going in, man. Like it's gonna give him play here. You know, YouTube loves controversy anyway. As long as it ain't extreme, you're good, man. You're not in the limelight of in contrast. You know,
I
that's
can't
what
really
that's what I feel.
say
Yeah,
I can't really say this right here is controversy. This
yeah,
is more like, you know what I mean, just this is more like telling it like what it is.
yeah. Tell it like it is. Correct.
Yeah. You know what I mean? Like because yeah, like YouTube loves controversy. I see that shit every time I like, come on here. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, oh, should black people not date outside their ethnic group? I'm like, really? Is this really a topic? Like we giving Dr. Umar vibes? Like, no disrespect. I mean, people could do whatever the hell you want, but it's you trying to mandate people not to date outside on who they want or who they like? Like, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Like that's a lost. That is a lost fucking argument in my opinion. Because at the end of the day, people gonna do what the fuck they want to do.
White Zaddy, emasculation, mainstream puppets. Who knew? Yeah, dude. Yeah, it's crazy, man.
Mm-hmm.
Jason Whitlock broke this whole thing down yesterday. I'll drop it today. Yeah, I'll check it out, Bunker. Yeah, subscribe to Bunker TV, man. He's got some good stuff, man. The brother's on fire. You know,
Mm.
yeah, he be everybody's paying attention. I pay attention to sports for a while, you know, for years, and he's been a butt end of the jokes. And I found a decent article. It's NewYorkPost.com. NBA bust Kwame Brown goes after critics in multiple social media feuds. Yep, hasn't been seen on the NBA hardwood since 2013. First overall pick, 2001. I mentioned that in the wiki. Who
Mm.
is Kwame Brown, who's kept a low profile since return. The NBA is widely remembered by the analysts and fans as one of the league's biggest busts. When he was drafted number one overall pick by Michael Jordan's Wizards in 2001, Brown struggled to live up to the hype around his potential, but the same outcome occurred when the Lakers took a chance on him in 2005, hoping he'd shine along with the late great Kobe Bryant in post Shaquille O'Neal era. Fans may recall Stephen A. Smith's famous rant about Brown, but after the Lakers traded Brown to the Memphis and the Skull during the 2007-08 season, Smith called Brown a scrub with small hands who can't play ball. But the ESPN first take, yeah, I remember that. And then Brown spent 12 years in the NBA. But when he bounced around teams, including the Pistons, Bobcats, known as the Hornets now, Warriors, and Sixers, he was waived by the Sixers before he could even appear in a game in 2013-14 season. I do remember that. His last appearance in the NBA came in February 20, 2013, played 6 minutes and 23rd in a loss in Minnesota. But he did play in the big three with Ice Cube, known as the Three-Headed Monsters. I do remember him that in the finals that year, and that
Mm.
was a decent team. Social media resurgence was sparked by recent episodes of All the Smoke podcast, hosted by retired NBA players like Matt Barnes and Steven Jackson, and were teammates of the podcast of the 2010-11 season. That's why there was teammates. They knew each other. In recent episode, Lakers owner Jeannie Buss, that's how it really got started, made comments shading Brown's basketball skills, discussing the Gasol trade, Pau Gasol trade. That's what that was about. And a few weeks later, but see, it's not like how he remembered it because you can hear his channel on YouTube to get the confirmation.
Mm-hmm.
Um, wow. And I'm going to say like this, and while he played for the Wizards in '01 and '05, yep, call him a show pony. They say, okay, former NBA player Gilda Arenas appeared as his former teammate and talk about Kwame Brown. That's how it all started. You can watch it there. And he just threw some shade on him on the podcast. I don't even watch the podcast. So I don't promote him on this channel. But Brown fires back. 2 days later, after Arenas appeared on air, Brown took to social media to set the record straight about his career and Arenas' comments. He first shared a number of Instagram videos warning his followers that he was crafting a response to Barnes and Jackson. Brown followed up with an hour-long YouTube video in which he addressed Barnes, Jackson, Smith, and more critics who've spoken negatively about him through the years. Brown went on to slam Barnes and Jackson in various social media posts, repeatedly calling Barnes Becky with good hair, Jackson Black Lives Matter activist, among other things. Most Brown's responses were filled with cusses and insults and accusations that Arenas took millions from him, that their contracts while they played together in Washington. Stephen A., you're a ball forehead, and Brown said at one point, addressing the longtime sports commentator's past comments and about his NBA career, thinking you tough, talking about, oh, they can come see me. We'll meet in Seattle where you can have mutual combat. But it'll look like I had a toupee on in front of your head. In addition, videos, yeah, I seen that. And Brown also addressed the criticism from Undisputed co-host Skip Bayless. Yep, Brown's most recent target in his war of words with critics, and including Jamel
he
Hill.
called him a zombie.
Yeah, yeah.
You're
Skip,
like, you zombie bitch.
Skip's a fucking racist. I don't even care for him. He does sidebar jokes against black players, and it's his clown ass. Steven
Whole
Jackson.
ass nigga.
I don't care if he won rings with the Spurs. He's a trash role player worse than Kwame. He ain't no star. He ain't shit. He's a nobody. At least I know these two, yes. But Jack, you're not tough, man. You're a clown that fought in the Mouse and the Palace. I remember you was trash, dude. You wasn't contributing no.
If I remember correctly, you 100 miles and running.
Yeah, yeah. He's trash. It's the Becky with good hair, Matt Barnes, and Derek bitch took your bitch like he should. And you was crying and tried
Hold on. How did Tupac say it? That's why I fucked your bitch.
Yep. Yep.
Yo, that shit was, yo, man, like, oh man, when I heard that he drove 10 hours.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, I was like, no, 10 hours? 10, you drove 10 hours in rage. With your little pick.
Yeah. Yeah, Bunker's from New York, Bunker TV. He's a New Yorker. I forget what. Yeah, he is.
Hey,
Oh, Jenny, Becky, Buck started the whole thing. Yeah, she started the whole thing on the article, Bunker. Yeah, both want to be goons. Yeah, that's all it started. And he said he drove a limo for Stacey Augment. Yeah, I remember him. And Larry Johnson and Greg Anthony that draft. Interesting. I did not know that. See, he got a hell of a background. Bunker knows these. He knew Doom. He made a Doom tribute on this video and met Daniel. Daniel Dumoulin, aka MF
Doom.
Yeah. Rest in peace.
Zed Love X.
Yep. All that. He did a tribute on his channel on that. Yeah. That was sad how he went. He had that blood clots, man. It's just, he was doing so much. And I thought he was going to make a recent album. And he said,
They did say that Mad Villainy 2 was in the mist.
Yeah. I think that was his last time before he made it. But yeah, man.
Yeah, bro. Like, man, I would say that was the worst New Year's Eve.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the worst New Year's Eve, bro. Like,
yeah, that was for me.
Yeah, I'm like, get the fuck out of here, MF. What?
Rest in peace, my bro. Yeah.
he's from Long Island. I'm like, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
No. I'm like, y'all couldn't take 6ix9ine. Why you gotta take him? Like, uh, I know that was a little petty.
Yeah. They got him on Reddit. For those who don't know, Kwame has a personal YouTube channel called Kwame Buster. I just subscribed to that last Friday, man. Yeah, he
Yeah,
ain't playing,
you
man.
know,
That's
yeah,
my nigga,
I
man.
subscribe to him too, man. I was like, yo, keep on coming with the mama, keep on coming with mama's cooking, B. Keep on
Yeah.
coming with mama's cooking.
Yeah.
He was like, now, kids, I do not promote violence. I promote self-defense. Fucking with me? like, I'm like, I'm like, as you should. Shit, I mean, I wouldn't let no man try to put his hands on me. The fuck?
Yeah.
Shit,
Kwame
man.
also went hard at Rachel Nichols. Yeah, he did. She's dirty.
Oh, why does she look like? Why she look like that female comedian Lisa Lampanelli?
Yeah.
Bunker, you know who I'm talking about.
Yeah. Yeah, man. He went hard on her, and I laughed at that too. Yeah, Kwame wasn't playing, but see, he know all them media starlet whores, man. They be messing with dudes, man. Like, see, he's exposing what they do on the low, man, and you don't hear this stuff on TV. That's why they
No,
trying to,
you
but
really don't.
he's not on contract. That's why they can't shut him up.
Yeah, yeah, man. Like,
Yeah.
damn, I did. Now that makes sense about Jay.
Hmm.
That makes total sense. That makes total sense.
Long Beach is where we meet at in our Allah community. Buster Rhymes, MF Doom, we were best friends back then. Buster from Roosevelt. See, that's how he knew him. Okay. He said that in the video that did a tribute about him. He broke that down. And doing all in the same mosque was different. Yeah, see, that's why. The Zebla X and all that. Yeah. But Bunker knows him. I think I mentioned that to some of the brain trust people. Yeah. Oh, and Tony Campbell from the Knicks was in our mosque too. Yeah. He mentioned that in the video. Yes. Shouts out to Bunker TV. Go subscribe to him, brothers. He's got some great content. Yeah. And subscribe to his other channels too, like Bunker 2 TV, I believe. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, that dude is on point. And salute to him, man. Like, yeah, he's from the NY. Him, you, I think Wacky World. It's a couple of New York guys I talked
I
to,
believe she
and
is
DS
also
and DS
she's
One, DS
yeah,
One.
she's also from New York, right?
No, she's from Georgia. He's from where I'm from.
Oh, all
I
right, all right.
I reside from Georgia, but I'm from Tennessee originally. But I lived in Georgia for decades, so it's like my second home. But she lives in Atlanta. He lives in
Oh, okay,
East, East,
okay.
East Atlanta. He's everywhere. Yeah, she's everywhere. On the tube, we talk every once in a while. We talk all the time. Okay, that's why Pat Riley didn't play Tony because he knew he was a black identity extremist. Exactly right. You're exactly right, and I do remember that. People talked about that too in the workplace. They didn't want to play Tony Campbell. Yeah, Pat Riley was something else. He runs Miami. A lot of people think he's a mob guy down there, but yeah, he's Irish. But I do remember his college days. They big him up in Kentucky. But that team, known as what you call the UTEP Miners, it was known as the Texas Western. They destroyed them boys, man. They beat them down. They have a movie about the Glory Road. That's based off that championship back in '65. Yeah.
Oh, I believe I remember that movie. Yeah.
And Ringo TV lives about 5 blocks from me. Yeah, Ringo's from New York. I lived in Atlanta from 93 to 2001. See, he used to live in Atlanta. Yeah, he talked about that.
Mm.
Glory Road. Yeah, that's a classic. That's a classic. I like that movie DVD. I watch it every once in a while, but that movie exposed the racism of it, the teams, how they emerged back then, and they went to different parts outside of that championship. But Pat Riley was the biggest player on that team. You had all American players from for the UK, University of Kentucky. And then
Mm.
after that, they started recruiting black players because of that game. After that game, the 5 black starters, it was actually 7 black players he played, but he had 5 black starters demolishing all white team. He set the other white players down and the Mexican down, one Mexican player down. But that movie is very telling and had the truth to it. So yeah, but that's just
Believe it,
part of it.
man.
Yeah, man.
I mean, I believe it, man. I believe it.
Yeah.
Just like shit. My One of my favorite movies is Remember the Titans.
Yeah, I remember that's classic.
Yeah, man.
Based off a true
It
story.
definitely
Gettysburg. Yeah.
it definitely did show a lot of racism inside of sports too. You know, like that was another sports movie that also dealt with like racism as well, man. Like that shit, like it blew my mind. Like I want to say it blew my mind, but then it was like damn, son. So this is wow. Like shit. Like with all this programming and all this hateful thoughts, I'm like, damn, son. Who would have knew?
Yeah.
But yeah, but I was happy to see. I was happy to see it, even though it did get me tight how 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 they treated us. But it also displayed on like what the fuck was going on back then.
Oh, now he wants to cop a plea, man. Come on, man.
Get the Becky with the good hair.
Yeah, simple good luck, bro, before ending the interview. Yeah, that's his response I'm reading. Yeah, this dude is see Kwame got him shook, man. That's what this is about. And he was the butt end of the jokes and they didn't like how he respond. But see, he's hot on YouTube. So yeah, he's gonna get his thing, man. He's gonna get his thug thizzle down.
Man, listen, they fucked up.
Yeah, they fucked up big time.
Like, they should have known better. Fucked up now. Now they on the spotlights. Like, man, I thought being a celebrity was supposed to be you don't let nobody know what's going on with your private life. Now everybody wants to be, look at me, look at me. Like, I'm not so bougie. I'm like, my nigga, that's the whole point of being to have that whole mystique, you
Mm,
know? Like, you don't let nobody know what you fucking do in your private life. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, man, niggas being celebrities ass backwards.
yeah.
Ass fucking backwards, bro. And it's like there is really no need. Like, I mean,
Mhm.
and it just be killing me about it just kills me about these celebrities and 99% of these rappers. Half
Yeah.
of these, it's like, bro, if you made something better for yourself, why do you want to go ass backwards?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't be getting that shit, man. Like the point of like making money is to get out the hood and not to be seen, man. But it's like most of these niggas can't help it, man. They're like they want to be flashy. They want to be a showboat.
Yeah. That's all that bragging doesn't get you that far in life. And I've noticed that growing up, even from the used to be from the hood as a child and moved to the suburbs, it don't get you nowhere. And I was taught by certain people, they said that don't get you nowhere, but get you dead, outside of it. And I learned a lot from different people and certain friends. They said, man, You can't do that, you know. I was never a bragger as a child, thank goodness, but I wasn't raised that way. Even though my family tell you that don't get you nowhere. Like they're not impressed. Just show me your real work by your actions, not by your mouth. Because
Yeah, man.
your
Like,
mouth don't get you nowhere.
I mean, Bunker remember this saying, man, like where we from, man, like we don't acknowledge air hustlers.
Yeah,
We really do not acknowledge fucking air hustlers to the core, man. Like,
yeah. All that bragging.
yeah, cause like it just tells me, well, where's the work you put in that you're talking about? You know what I mean? Like,
We
well,
only have good in slavery movies and cinematic redlining. We are pigeonholed, old, peeled into those limited things. No sci-fi, no real adventure flicks, just slaves. I'm working on it. Okay. And he said Kwame
oh,
had like 6,007K subs, now approaching 100,000 in a week. Yeah, he had 100. I mentioned earlier in the stream bunk, he had like 136,000. He probably gonna get 400,000 probably the end of the next month, and probably get
yo,
more than that to a million. Yeah, it's possible. It's possible.
Bunker. Did you see Yasuke?
Yeah,
But I definitely do agree, man. Like they need to make more movies besides, the whole hood and slave movies, man. Like I get I get tired of that shit when the motherfucker tries to tell me about my own about my own history. Like, bro, I like to see your history. Were y'all slaves? Well, like, why y'all always have to like see, this is the reason why I don't fuck with Hollywood. Or
yeah,
should I say Hollyweird?
yeah,
Cause like they always wanna produce these slave and hood movies and shit. It's like, bruh, that shit is annoying.
yeah,
It's like I'd rather watch Yasuke than than another typical hood movie or slave movie, man. I mean, don't get me wrong, like
yeah,
I like to see a good I like to see I like to see a hood movie when it's properly produced. You know what I mean? Not all this whole like, this romanticizing, you know what I mean? Like this whole romanticizing that there is a lot of violence in in the sector of our neighborhoods.
yeah.
But you know what I mean? There's also like they don't see like it's like they don't make like a slice of life hood movie. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Let
It's
me
it gets too romanticized, so way too much.
Yeah, you know what I mean? It's like I don't like let a black director romanticize about Caucasian people enjoying being rednecks and
Mm.
fucking on each other's siblings and shit.
Oh yeah, I've seen
Yeah,
a couple of those movies, but it ain't enough. You know what I'm saying? It gets
yeah,
bored and stale. Yeah, they be like, "Nah, that ain't entertaining." They rather see us because we so hyper aggressive, hyper masculine, man. Like,
hypersexual.
yeah,
You know,
all that. Yeah,
yeah,
that's what
like
they.
that's
It's all programming. You know, 95%.
it is. It is, man. Like that's why you know what I mean? I mean, I'll watch it, but then it's just like, wow, that's something. And
Yeah,
then and then I just cut it off midway of the movie. I'm like, I don't even know why I watched this shit.
400,000. Wow. Yeah, he'll get more than that. Yeah. Yeah, I saw Yasuke. A lot of London hood movies are different. They are based off culture. Boys in the Hood was the benchmark, and it had a message. The innocent one was Ricky gets killed. That's common, man. Ricky was a star athlete. Um, it was a lot of jealousy. Two brothers that had two different daddies. You know, that's common. I have a cousins that are like that. One dealt with martial arts, one dealt with football in the military, but they had the same mama but two different dads. That's very common. You know, instead of having two
Yeah.
different mothers and the same father, you know, it's that's like in a minority. But yeah, that's very common.
Yo, you gonna be on later?
Nah, this is just for the day. I'm just gonna be watching basketball. This is just a stream.
All right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it got to be shut
I
down in a couple
gotta
minutes.
get
Yeah,
ready. Yeah, I gotta get ready and make some moves and shit. Cause I ain't trying to stay out. I ain't trying to stay outdoors, man. They say it's gonna be 90 degrees today.
yeah,
So I might as well, you know what I mean, get ready, do what I gotta do, and get back home. Cause
yeah.
I ain't staying in this heat.
Yeah, it's okay. I want to see if it's hot in Georgia. Let's see how hot it is. Okay. It's going to be 89 here. Yeah, yeah, it's gonna be hot.
Yeah, almost 90.
Yeah,
Shit.
it'll be 90 Tuesday, 90 all the way through Friday. Yeah, it's gonna be hot, man.
God damn. Oh,
It'll be 92 Wednesday, 93 Thursday, and Friday 91. Yeah, it's gonna be a hot week. That's that hot. A lot of people try to say summer. No, it's technically spring, but the summer will be June. It'll be like in the hundreds, like 97 and all that. I see, yeah.
oh, damn.
But you know, that's May though. May's in the brunt of it. And then June comes
Yeah, yeah.
that humidity, man.
Yeah, man. Shit, that humidity hit different up here yesterday. I was like, oh
Yeah.
shit.
It was hot yesterday too, in the 80s. But you know.
Yeah, man. But yo, let me dip out. I'll definitely catch you on another flip on the flip side, man. It was a pleasure.
All right, not a problem. Appreciate you, Rashawn.
No problem, man. Thank you, sir.
All right, peace.
Peace.
Yeah. Yeah, man. It's like I said, man, like, you know, the 90s. Let me see. The 90s in New York today and yesterday. Yeah. Yeah, it's gonna be 89 here in Georgia, bunker. But yeah, man, like it's one of those things, man. I just want to share you something about like Kwame Brown, man. Like, you know, I know the stream is going an hour. I may kill this in a minute. Your Morgan Freeman. Yeah. But I'm just saying, man, like it's just one of those things, like, you know, with the Kwame Brown thing, I just want to post up and then I just want to see a few links. I'm gonna cancel that. And you know, yeah, man, like he's on fire, man. I'm gonna kill this real quick. Yeah, I'm gonna stop the screen share. Yeah, man, I'm just gonna post this up a little bit. But yeah. Okay, who's in the chat? Who's in the chat? Okay, looking at chat. I'm looking at the real estate in Georgia. Family want to move out of New York. Yeah, man, it's a lot of real estate here in Georgia. Certain places like in Cobb County. I think in the Marietta. I think the Marietta area. Certain parts of Atlanta. Um, Kennesaw, I believe. I think somewhere in Ackworth or Cherokee County. All those other counties outside of Atlanta. You know, they building houses left and right. I do know Troy Terrain lives in Woodstock. That's outside of Atlanta. That's in, I believe, Fulton, right next to Alpharetta. So he's up there. Yeah, she lives in a lot of places. I mean, she will hear. He's from Georgia. Smooth lives in Gwinnett. I live in Cobb County. I live in Ackworth and through the Kennesaw line. But yeah, I'm up here, man. Yeah, it's a lot of Georgians in the space too. I've noticed. Yeah. He said, I can buy two houses in Atlanta for 150. Yeah, true. It's that cheap down here. That's unheard of. Yeah, that's because their taxes is like 5% tax rate here. But in the future, I hope that they don't raise it up like California. That's the fear that people have. But here's the thing, Georgia South, they got a lot of space, man. I bought my first house in Forest Park. Yeah, I'm familiar with that area. Yeah, when people talk about it. So yeah, man. So let's see what this stream is about. I don't know if I'm gonna go that much longer. Okay, I'm gonna kill it. 60,000. Okay, yeah, yeah. So with that, man, I appreciate y'all brothers coming through. Let's see who came in here today. Shouts out to DS1, Sheep, Stay, Sleep TV, Rashawn, Sheep, we here, Bunker TV, always a pleasure. And salute to you, brothers, for coming through. Yeah. Let's see what he say. All right, good day, brother. Yeah, peace, Bunker. Yeah, cash stay in McDonald's parking lot. Yeah, okay. So with that, I want to say peace and shalom.